Sevierville Chick-fil-A is huge. The part of the drive-thru where you order is like way over there next to the building. It's not right next to the building like you normally see. Now, the weirdest part about Chick-fil-A is when you get your food, but then you can't escape. Yeah, as soon as I noticed I wasn't going to get to the park for opening, I was like, okay, screw it. I'm getting Chick-fil-A breakfast. We got a spicy biscuit. We got some fruit in there. It is really weird. Every Chick-fil-A you go to, if you get fruit, they put it in a separate bag. Like, why? But anyways, I am going back to Dollywood again today, which shouldn't be that exciting since it's my home park, but it actually has been over a month since the last time that I have been to the park. I'm excited to get back, especially because right now their summer celebration event is going on, which is not an event I normally get to attend because it occurs over the summer, and I'm usually not here over the summer. I've already looked. A lot of the seasonal food items they're offering for this event actually look pretty good. In the show lineup, the lineup of shows for this event looks pretty fantastic. So I know several of them are not really Dollywood productions. They're like traveling shows that are just stopping here, like the Gazillion Bubbles show, the Dog Trick show, which I've seen portions of at Holiday World and Kentucky Kingdom. I'm sure it goes other places too, but it seems to move around to a lot of theme parks. So it's cool we have that here right now. We'll also have a drone show at the end of the night. I'm excited. There's a lot of cool stuff. It's been a while since I've seen a line like this at the parking tolls. Not too bad, because they have almost all of them open in typical Dollywood fashion. It never takes very long to get through these, but usually I just coast right in, but I usually get here around noon, and it's more like 10:30 right now. So they put some trees around here, some planters. It doesn't look as bad as it used to, but like, it's still kind of gross. I think first impressions are pretty important, so I'm going to keep hammering about how bad this little entrance area is. Oh, hey, look, we can walk through here without a special ticket now. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so, looks weirdly empty. Anyways, here's your new for 2024 Dolly Parton themed area. It opened like Memorial Day weekend, but that weekend, I think for like the first 2 weeks, you had to have a timed entry spot to even come in here. It was kind of a weird situation, but now it's just open. And as you can see, of course, it is really early in the day, but these don't seem to be crazy popular attractions. So I guess that's good if you don't want to wait in line. Oh, and that's new. So there are cubbies there now. So opening weekend, they were just making people dump out drinks and throw away food and stuff. But now they have somewhere for you to put them and just come and get them when you get out. So that's definitely a nice change. Okay, having these outside at Red's now is actually super nice, I must say. Yeah, anyways, it's almost 11:30 now, which is crazy. It took a good 40 minutes just to get the tram into the park. They were not running very many trams today, and the line was pretty long for that. So it would have been faster just walking the park. Had I known that, I probably would have done that, but it is what it is. This is the most people I've seen outside Lightning Rod's entrance in a long time, but despite that, the wait is only about 10 minutes. So I'll go ahead and do that for my first ride of the day. Okay, that might be more than 10 minutes, but maybe not. We'll find out. I've been in line for about 8 minutes and it just broke down. So I'm gonna wait out for just a second because with the chain lift, it should be able to get back up and running a little bit quicker. But it is good to know that even with the modification, you still have a chance at the Lightning Rod experience. Again, it's been like 10 minutes and it's already broken. Hear the sound effect. Let's see if it's oh, there it is. Empty train. But hopefully they'll just cycle a few empty and we're good to go here. We'll see. see back open-ish, you can see that train's empty. They seem to be cycling one train with people on it and one train empty. So it's probably just one of the trains that's having an issue, so we're down to half capacity for now.
All clear. If you're ready to ride, make some noise. Enjoy the ride. Welcome back. When the ride comes to a complete stop, push up on our lap bar, exit to your left. Don't forget any of your personal belongings and enjoy the rest of the day at Dollywood.
Holy crap, it's running so fast. And it's only like, well, now it's noon, because it took about 40-minute wait, even though it said 10. But I'll give them some slack since there was a small breakdown and then they're running at half capacity for a while. But they got back up to full capacity near the end there. Oh gosh, about to walk straight through some mist. Ooh, it's a little chilly. It's a little chilly. I forget, since it's summertime, they'll have a lot of mist blasters throughout the park, which is definitely nice when you get to peak heat in the middle of the day. But in the morning right now, it's not too hot. So it feels a little excessive right this second. But even near the end there, they still had a couple maintenance guys up in the station that would come and like check something on one of the trains every round. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but Lightning Rod's always had train issues, as have a lot of RMCs, and that's something that doesn't go away with a chain lift, so not completely unexpected, but at least it wasn't like crazy downtime like you'd see with the launch. All right, this will be the best feature in the park once it heats up later in the day. They have this last year too, I think I saw on videos, but this is my first time experiencing it. So they've changed the setup for this food stuff a little bit. You can see this one here has just like all the drinks, all the different teas is basically what they have for summer in one stand, whereas they used to be spread around the rest. Over here, Market Square still has, you know, seasonal items like it always has. Yeah, but before they even started doing the separate like stands for the festival foods, Market Square's always had a menu that rotates based on the season, so no surprise there, and they've always liked that. Honestly, they usually have some of the best festival food there anyway. There's a giant picnic basket. I have no idea why. Sorry, there's just a lot of stimulation going on right now. But according to the map, they've added, I see it up here, they've added another festival stand compared to what they usually have. So they usually have the one over right next to Market Square, and then that one over by River Rampage that's still there. And now there's a third one up here. It's somewhat separated from the others up the Craftsman's Valley path here. It's much quieter up here, except for the banjo. Good banjo though. Yeah, there you go. Just has the one item, the apple cider pork sandwich. All right, that's actually a pretty big portion size for the festival foods. Usually they're the same price as the permanent restaurants, but then less food. Just for, I guess you're paying for novelty, I guess. But this is about the same size actually as the actual barbecue restaurant, which hilariously enough is like barely up the path from the seasonal food booth selling a seasonal barbecue sandwich. So that's kind of funny. That's actually where I'm gonna have to go up to eat this, because there's not really any seating space right next to that booth. Also not really any queue space. Luckily it doesn't appear to be a very popular stop right now, I guess because there's another barbecue restaurant directly up here. But oh hey look, it's a bright sunshiny day. Yay. So yeah, while there is another barbecue restaurant right there, does it have apple cider barbecue sauce? I didn't think so. Also, since I watched them making it, the chips are actually just like individual bags of like store-bought potato chips that they didn't just dump out under the tray. I mean, it works. I just think it's funny. All right, that was all right. Definitely a good portion of food, and it wasn't bad. It was good quality, just not really my thing. I thought I'd like it a lot more than I did. The apple flavor on the barbecue, I don't know, shouldn't really do it for me. I mean, it was very vinegary, but I usually like a vinegar-based like barbecue sauce, but I don't know, it's just different. Not my favorite. ever, but that doesn't mean don't try it. So they have these fun, they call them roadside attractions because they're going for like a road trip theme with this festival throughout the park, which is cool. So here's checkers. I don't have anybody to play checkers with, but there it is. And over here we have a ring and hook game. Those are always like freaking impossible. You always see them, you're like, I could do that, and then like, no, you can't. Anyways, I'm just gonna complete the main park loop, getting re-rides on all the coasters and seeing any more fun decorations or roadside attractions. Like up here, we have the official mayo of Dollywood. I don't know if that's something. Okay, now that's nice. All the lounge chairs. They probably need more of those. Actually, that's a nice one right there. Anyways, it's hot. Let's ride a classic dark ride in the air conditioning. That'll be nice. Alright, unfortunately a lot of the effects that they fixed on Blazing Fury at the beginning of the season are already not working again. So as a dark ride fan, that's kind of disappointing. But it's still fun, air conditioning, classic. Can't really complain about all that. Alright, I'm gonna go over to Tennessee Tornado just because it has a really short wait, which makes me think maybe the second train is back in action because the second train's been out of commission all year this year. So we'll see. Oh, thank heavens the food trucks are gone, at least for now. Maybe, I don't know if it's a controversial take, but I don't like the food trucks here. So instead we have a bunch of yard games like cornhole, Connect 4, tic-tac-toe. There's even a Jenga table over there. It's hard to imagine that working at a theme park because I would think people would just steal the blocks. But it seems to be working just fine. Yeah, again, unfortunately I am solo today, so nobody to play cornhole or tic-tac-toe or anything with. But how incredibly cool to be able to play just those classic yard games surrounded by this giant arrow looper. Also, yeah, it is back onto 2 trains, and they are absolutely rolling those 2 trains, just like they used to. So that's very nice. Empty queue, just like I like to see. There's one time this season earlier that I waited like an hour and a half for this ride, and I don't know why, because it's only like 30 seconds. So it's very glorious to see this empty. And it's still a good ride. I think I am a little bit burnt out on it just because I've ridden it so much. And as unique as it is for an Aero, it's still just, 3 loops and some positive G's. And I don't find those older Aero trains to be super comfortable personally. So that's kind of what that comes down to. But I am happy that the second train is back because like I said, it's been out of commission all season. I think for technical reasons, they've had it in that shop torn apart. So it's great to see it back. Because when that ride is running with one train, it can get some stupid long lines. Like it got well over 2 hours one day in the spring with just the one train. But with 2 trains, it's actually the highest throughput coaster in the entire park. And it pretty much remains a walk-on or a near walk-on all day because the crews are so efficient with those 2 trains going. So very nice to see. So we'll go straight to Wild Eagle. I usually like to do Tennessee Tornado and Wild Eagle back to back for no apparent reason. I just do. Wild Eagle also has a stupid short wait, which I find kind of strange. The wait time distributions are weird right now, but not unusual for Dollywood, where you've got well over an hour for Fire Chaser Express, Dragon Flyer, and Big Bear Mountain, your family coasters. But then the thrill coasters like Tennessee Tornado and Wild Eagle are near walk-ons. There's reading 5 minutes. And yeah, this whole downstairs queue is empty. Oh, and will you look at that. Walk directly onto the back row of all rows. I'm not complaining about that. It's funny, most of the other rows have a couple people deep. The back row does not.
Just for you. Get ready to ride. Make some noise. Mama, where we used to sit is only provided for over there in the corner. No, I didn't do that one.
In other wilder news, here's Fire Chaser running with all 3 trains. Something I thought they had forgotten how to do because I haven't seen it in so long, even on busy days. You can see one on the course, one on the brake run, and another one in the stations dispatching now. Very cool. Here's some more of the road trip theming they have around the park for summer. Unfortunately, Fire Chaser still has an hour-long wait, even with the 3 trains, so thank heavens they got all 3 running. And I am trying to loop back around to make it to 2 of the seasonal shows at the front of the park. So I'm gonna skip out on that and come back later when the line's hopefully shorter or when I am not trying to be somewhere. However, I should have time to stop by and take a ride on Mystery Mine real quick because it's only about a 15-minute wait. And I have been tipped off by a friend that apparently the fire effect at the top of the second lift, a special effect that has not been operational since like October. So like 6 or 7 months. I don't want to do math right now, but it's been a while. Apparently it's back on. So let's go find out. The app listed at a 15-minute wait, but it's going to be way shorter than that because you can see the line and it's all the way up in station wait. So here we go. Okay, I can confirm the fire is back on. Both blasts too. There's kind of like 2 fire cannons up there, and usually they only have 1 turned on at a time, but they are both on. So that's awesome. Hopefully it actually lasts a while this time. Also got one of those random pop-up rain showers you get in the summer in the south. That was not in the forecast, but it feels kind of nice, so I'm not complaining. I brought a rain jacket just in case, since this is always a possibility, but it feels so nice right now with how hot it is outside. That I'm just gonna roll with it. All of the misters that are on this side of the park are not turned on for some reason. They are at the front. They're not over here, which sucks because there's less shade over here. I'm going again to try to get a front row ride because I was in the second row that time. I'd like to get the fire in the front row, obviously. Anyways, I did get front row ride on Mystery Mine just on that second attempt there. Got a sign in the front, and yeah, that fire in your face it's wild. All right, got about 30 minutes until the Gazillion Bubbles show, the one I want to go to be able to sequence, do that, and then the dog show one, just where the show times worked out. The dog show has very limited show times, which I guess makes sense because, you know, you got animals involved. Anyways, I don't want to get over to that theater too terribly late because while it is a big theater, I'm sure it's a popular show. I want to make sure I get a seat, but I probably should have time to run through Thunderhead real quick, especially since it's usually a walk-on. Yeah, there we are. You can always count on Thunderhead to be one you can hop on real quick on your way by, at least most of the time, which is great. All right, Thunderhead, running good as always. Not the best it's run this season. Right now I'd take Lightning Rod over it, but those two are incredibly close for me. I know I said Thunderhead was the best in the park at the beginning of the season, but that was when Lightning Rod hadn't quite warmed up yet. I think I kind of said that at the time, that when Lightning Rod's running well, it's much better than Thunderhead, but Thunderhead's more consistent. There's really not much variation in how Thunderhead runs from season to season, whereas you get that a lot more on Lightning Rod, where sometimes it's kicking butt and sometimes you're like, really? So I'm heading that direction because I want to make sure I try to get a seat. I'm not too concerned actually, because it's not an absolutely slammed today. Obviously it's not empty, but it's still not super crowded here, and that is a huge theater, so hopefully it's not a problem. However, it is incredibly hot, so it'll be nice to get into the air conditioning for a bit with those two back-to-back shows. Wow, that might be the coolest facade for a temporary show I've ever seen. And they even have some more beach ball bubbles over here. They're blowing bubbles everywhere. Great stuff. Of course, this is here in Celebrity Theater, which I believe is Dollywood's largest theater. It's up here, kind of up the path from the plaza where Market Square is. And those restrooms, I don't know if that's new this year, or if it's new like right now or at the beginning of the season, but those restrooms have been completely refurbished, like completely gutted and replaced. New sinks, new toilets, new floor, new ceiling, new walls. Everything's brand new in there. Again, I don't know if that was the beginning of the season or more recently, because I just haven't been in there, but very cool. Some of the older restrooms in the park are pretty gross and really needed some replacement, so it's good to see they're finally starting to do that. And so it's about 15 minutes till the show starts, but I'm gonna go ahead and head in, because I'd rather sit in the air conditioning than sit out here. Yeah, this theater is much bigger than I remember. This is not filling up today, never mind. Yeah, it's a big theater. I guess I'm used to during Christmas time, shows are a lot bigger here and the park is more crowded. So this theater can fill up pretty easily during Christmas time, but that does not appear to be the case at all today. All right, time to exit. There's still a gazillion bubbles. There's so many bubbles, it's almost hard to breathe. All right, gazillion bubbles. Just watched it, and I don't really know where to start. That's a really good theme park show. Technically, it's not a theme park show. It's just a general show that travels to different places. I think you can watch it on Broadway, maybe. It's just a regular show that Dollywood hires for the summer celebration here. Yeah, it's good. There's a lot of very fun bubble tricks, but beyond that, there's just some wacky stuff where I feel like for like the theming, so to speak, they all sat down in a room and were like, all right, so what ideas do you have for theming during the show? What music should play? What kind of projections and color palettes and all that should we use? And they just kind of took every idea that was thrown out there and were like, okay, we're doing that. It really just felt like they were doing whatever the heck they wanted. And I was kind of cool with it. It was fun. In addition to the bubble tricks, at the very end, which I recorded a little bit of, because that was when I decided it was probably fine to record. Sorry. At the very end there, it just turns into like a laser light show, where at one point the lady like picks up two of the lasers and starts swinging them around like friggin' lightsabers. It kind of goes off the rails there at the end in the absolute best way possible. I'm sitting there like, I don't know what this has to do with bubbles anymore, but it's fun. All right, stunt dogs. This theater definitely filled up faster than I would have expected it to. So I'm over kind of on the side, but that's all right.
Count three, stay, relax. 1, stay, 2, wait, 3. All right, help me out, ready, set, go. Come on, blue team. She's going into that tunnel, over the tunnel, around the barrel, back to that tunnel. Will she get that for me? And she
I got some of the dogs up there. Go see the dogs. Go see the dogs. right, exiting through the same door you came into is pretty unusual for this theater, but this was a good show. So it's branded differently than the one I saw portions of at Holiday World in Kentucky Kingdom. So I figured, oh, it's a different show. But no, it was the same like setup, the same show, like the exact same general structure, obstacles and everything. So I don't know why the branding's different. Yeah, it's a very fun little show, Mabob. Lots of fun dog stunts, a good variety as well. It was shorter than it said it would be. It was only about 30 minutes in the app, so it's about 45 minutes, but I thought it was still a good length. Oh my gosh, look how big the koi fish are. I saw a turtle in here a minute ago. I don't know where he went. Or she, I don't know. Anyways, it is interesting that the Stunt Dog Show was in an indoor theater, because at both Kentucky Kingdom and Holiday World, it was in like an outdoor amphitheater. Maybe they just wanted to have more control, having them in an indoor space so that they didn't get loose or something. I don't know, not that they seemed like they were going to. All right, it's still pretty hot, and I have not ridden Smoky Mountain River Rampage in quite literally years. I just usually don't like river rapids rides unless it's like super hot outside, which it is today. 90 degrees Fahrenheit, so here we go. All right, hopefully this is not a terrible idea. This is kind of weird because I haven't been down here in a long time. Quite a long time. And on hot days, it usually has like the longest line in the park, sometimes an hour and a half, 2 hours, which is why even on hot days, I usually don't do it. But it's only reading about 20 minutes right now, so hopefully it's not too bad. All right, yeah, we're already heading into this shed here. And I don't think this queue really has many, if any, switchbacks. Really just in the station, which you can see right over there. Very fun. Yeah, so here's kind of that extended queue right there. Oh, and there's the switchbacks, the very back of the extended queue. But yeah, no, it looks like we'll just have the switchbacks at the station. So that's pretty nice. We're ready to cross over here. Oh, and sweet, there is a single rider split. So that should help out for me a bit. Oh, I just skipped like the whole line there. Very nice. Alright, down our exit path. I am drenched, but I think I might go again. If you're wondering what a raft looks like without a bladder, there you go. That single double rider split is awesome. I literally just walked right down, so I'm gonna go again. I'm already wet, why not? Alright, that was fun. Just went twice in a row. Fun because river rapids are fun, at least when it's hot outside and you'll dry off pretty fast afterward and you're not freezing cold afterward. I've ridden River Rampage during Harvest Festival before when it was like 50 degrees outside, 40, 50 degrees out. And that's not fun. This is a lot more fun. River Rampage itself, it's not the best river rapids ride out there, comparatively speaking. I do think it's funny. Of all the parks I've been to, Dollywood's is probably the most, not in the middle of the woods. It's in the middle of the park, and that's very clear. Whereas most of the other ones I've ridden are really out in the woods, like Kings Islands. And it certainly has a lot of dead spots too, compared to other rapids rides I've done. It's still fun, but it's got, a lot of dead space, so I am gonna do my favorite water ride in the park though. It's our log flume, Daredevil Falls, which is actually in the woods. There we go. Those are some cheap rates. I just went 2 rides on Daredevil Falls, once in the back row, once in the front row. And ironically, the back row actually has, the drop feels more intense in the back, which I didn't think would be the case on a flume, because they're not like segmented cars like a roller coaster, but still same sensations for some reason. But obviously near the front, you get a lot more wet, which is fun because I was already wet from River Rampage, and it's so hot outside, it feels good. River Rampage definitely gets you a lot more wet, and it's more dynamic all the way through. You got several different splashes. But I think Daredevil Falls is overall more thrilling just because of that one big drop. And Daredevil Falls' theming and setting in the woods, actually in the woods, is much more appealing in my opinion. Whereas River Rampage is very compact and very like in the middle, as in the middle of the least woodsy part of the park it could be in. So it's just weird because other River Rapids rides at parks that are considerably less, not actually in like the Smoky Mountains, it's just kind of funny to me, since Dollywood's identity is kind of being in the woods, but then their River Rapids ride is not that. All right, it's about 6:30, so dinner time. We got a sausage sandwich, always a classic, always great from Market Square. They kind of just have this, in different variations throughout the year. It's like for spring it was like a spicy sausage, and now it's normal sausage with some different veggies. And I got a sweet tea as well, which is the sweetest sweet tea I have ever consumed. That's been my joke, is that their strategy for these kind of drinks is just put as much sugar in it as humanly possible to make you think that it's like really good. And yeah, it's barely even tea, it's just sweet. And while it is overpriced, I did have to get it so I can complete my infinity gauntlet of Dollywood cups. Also, for any of you Dollywood long timers, remember when these sandwiches, they were the same price, and remember when they also came with not just this size sandwich, but also a whole plate of fried potatoes. Like, those were really good, really like surprisingly solid, really good fried potatoes, and now they just don't exist anymore. And yet it's the same price. Actually, I think it's more. And they just took away the side. Sneaky. At least it's cheaper, still cheaper than like any Cedar Fair park. That's not a high bar, but you easily spend twice as much on dinner at a Cedar Fair park. The sandwich is still really good. This is still unironically one of the best meals in the park. The sausage is amazing. The bread is like really good, like really high quality bread that complements the sandwich really well. They didn't just use a hot dog bun, which I'll ever salute them for. What I will say is the veggies on top, like, they seem to get cheaper every year. I remember when they were like actually really solid peppers, and now they taste very cheap. Can't imagine peppers be that expensive, but I don't know, man. I miss the potatoes. There should definitely be potatoes down there. Anyways, sun's starting to go behind a cloud finally. The performance you saw right before I went to dinner is called Liquid Beats. It's one of a couple different like street show style shows that they have for summer celebration. Near the front of the park here, kind of give off some summer vibes. And I thought it was a really fun performance, that's why I stopped and watched it. It's about 20 minutes, just right there in the middle of Market Square, some cool percussion-y stuff. They try to give it a theme. They're apparently the park landscapers, but they also are a band for some reason. Yeah, no, it was fun, it's cute. Although in between all the songs, I didn't really capture this, but in between all the songs, there was like so many landscaping puns. I feel like that's the whole reason they themed it, was just so that they could do landscaping puns forever. But as you can kind of tell, the park is really clearing out, and it's only about 6:40. The park is open until 10 p.m. tonight and is for most of the summer, which is really awesome because as someone whose home park is Dollywood, the only time they're really open late is during fall, like Halloween time and Christmas time. Most of the year they close around 6 or 7 p.m. They've started doing 8 p.m. some days in the spring, but that's very limited. So having open till 10 p.m. in the summer is really special compared to like some like Cedar Fair or Six Flags parks that are open until 10 p.m. all throughout the spring and fall, whereas we don't get that. But I think part of the reason for that is, as you're kind of seeing right now, most of the crowd that visits Dollywood They're not the kind of clientele that stay until like 10 or 11 p.m. No matter what day it is, even the most like busiest days of the year, I can probably count on one hand the number of times that rides have still had long lines at closing at Dollywood ever. Usually around dinner time, there's just like a mass exodus and you get walk-ons for the rest of the night, even on some really busy days sometimes. Whereas if you go to like Kings Island or Cedar Point or something like that, even if the park's open till like 11 p.m. or midnight during haunt, people stay until the park closes. You can still be getting in a line that's an hour and a half, 2 hours long at 10 p.m. and that like basically never happens here. So I guess that's most of the reason that we don't get late hours most of the time, is just that the kind of guests that visit Dollywood don't stay late, so it's not really worth it for them to staff and stay open a couple extra hours if nobody's really here anyway. It's a dang shame though, because even without the Halloween or Christmas decorations, just the rest of the year, Dollywood at night is fantastic. This is one of my favorite nighttime parks. They do their lighting so good. You get some awesome night rides. Unfortunately, the sun sets around 9 p.m. tonight, and then the drone show is at 9:45, and I definitely want to see that. So that may limit what I'm able to do night ride wise, but we'll find out. Oh my gosh, we got the giant spinning tops. Holy crap, there's a lot of them. A good variety of shapes and sizes as well. Okay, I'll climb in this. Oh heck yeah. Oh. Can I like push off and jump in? Oh yeah. Oh, that's disorienting. Kind of. Not really spinning that fast. See if I can get spinning and then jump in real fast. All right, I did it. I accidentally hit stop record on the camera. But yeah, that was not great. You probably need to do this with two people, somebody to spin and someone to jump in, but kind of fun. Well, that one's got a bench. That one's got a bench. Hold on. We're doing this. We're doing it. I can't get that fast or else I'll hurt myself trying to jump in and I'll look like an idiot, but oh. Cozy, comfy. This is gonna make me more sick than any ride will. I'm already starting to feel a little nauseous. I don't do good with spinning rides. Yeah, there's quite a nice variety of different giant tops you can spin and climb in and get sick. I know Dollywood doesn't have that many nauseating rides, so if you do need to get sick, come on up to Wildwood Grove during summer celebration, apparently. I know there was something different there last year, so I think they rotate out a lot of these every year as to what they have, which is fine with me, because for repeat visitors to the park like myself, it's fun to have something new every year. Ah, there's my beauty. This ride will always hold a special place in my heart since I built most of the beginnings of my channel off of it. It's fair to say most people that watch this channel now arrived from construction updates for this thing. And okay, it looks like they got a new little retention erosion barrier up there. That was not there before. I'm back in my construction update mode, even though there's no real construction happening. Yeah, I don't think I'm even gonna do like a construction update on the park today, because like you have the plaza at Wilderness Pass I showed you earlier. It's just they haven't done anything with it yet. And the only other construction project was Miss Lillian's Mill House, that renovation, and that's actually done. I didn't go inside there today because I just wasn't feeling that kind of food, and I looked at the prices in the app because the app posts some of the restaurant prices, and that's like, it's Cedar Fair price. It's the most expensive in the park for quick service, which means that's probably really good, but I just wasn't feeling that today. Maybe I'll walk back over there later and we can take a look at it, but shouldn't feel like enough to make a separate video. There's where I would come behind Frogs and Fireflies to get a better view of the launch and stuff when they started testing, and random employees would come over to talk to me. They didn't really have any inside information. They're just like ride operators, but they'd be like, hey, you look at that construction? I'd be like, yeah. So I'd come here, like, I didn't have class on Thursdays last spring. So it was every Thursday. I had a lot of other homework to do, but I come here for like 2 or 3 hours every Thursday, record a construction update, ride a few rides, and head out. Nice memories. It's only a year ago, but it feels like I'm reminiscing on like something that happened 5 years ago. It's almost a bit of nostalgia. That was literally like maybe 14 months ago. And here we are. There's the ride. with an actual functional test seat this year. That's always a plus. It's funny, I haven't been in like the full queue, like through there and everything, I think since within the first couple months of
May we have your attention for some important
don't skimp on the sunscreen, don't you dare. This ride has pretty solid capacity, nothing mind-blowing, but definitely high for Dollywood standards. They don't really build high throughput attractions all that much. So for Dollywood standards, this is pretty decent, and it's all the way in like the very back of Wildwood Grove. I think most people just don't like to hike all the way back here. So for that reason, this outside of right when it opens, there's usually not really much of a line here. I think this queue is where I'll sometimes spend time, but not that much anymore, which is unfortunate because it's a really well done queue. Of all the rides here, I probably most prefer to wait in this full queue. Look at how well this landscaping has grown, and it's beautiful. Especially if you were here like opening month. It was kind of rough, but it's all grown in really nicely now. All right, let's compare some Vacomas real quick. We got a Dragon Flyer. Let's see how it's doing. Oh yeah, this is nice. Real nice. Dragon Flyer is back to running butter smooth again. It was starting to get a little bit bumpy the last couple times I've ridden it, but now butter smooth again. I don't know what they did. I'm gonna guess like different wheels or something. But Big Bear Mountain, which I rode twice before this, is fantastic. I always say that, don't I? My one complaint is that one of the trains, the onboard audio is not working. That's been the case on my last few visits. So that's not a good look, not a good sign. The thing with onboard audio is like a Disney or Universal park, they'll actually take the time and effort to make sure it's always working. But at like a Six Flags park, try to do onboard audio for a while, and it would just break, and they would never care to actually fix it. We kind of hoped that Dollywood would be the kind of park that would really, keep that system working, especially since it is such an integral part of the ride experience for this attraction. But increasingly seems to not be the case, unfortunately. All right, get to ride Fire Chaser now. The not as good family coaster. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay, they still got 3 trains on. I'm gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if they pick one off since the crowds have kind of died. But at the same time, I know train transfers on this ride are pretty difficult because the transfer track's all the way up at the halfway point turnaround building.
And the volunteer firemen of Station 7.
Yeah. Fire danger is low. that doesn't mean much. It's fires every single day here, apparently. I don't know if summer wheels are just smoother, but every ride I've ridden today has felt like butter smooth. So let's see how Fire Chaser is. It's gotten notoriously rattly.
Recruits, this is not a drill. It's go time. High alarm on the hill. Go, go, go. Engineer, fire, get out of here.
Right, Fire Chaser still running 3 trains. It was hitting pretty close to interval for a bit there, which was just really cool to watch because I'm on like operations, nerd, efficiency, capacity. The more moving parts, the more trains, the cooler. That's why El Toro Ryan's my favorite YouTuber. So just watching them get consistently where 2 trains are completely free running on the track at once, one in the forward section and one in the backwards, is pretty cool. So this is the only roller coaster in the park I haven't done yet today, so I think you know what's about to happen. For me, it's the fact that I actually had to like wait for that a little bit. Like, I've ridden some kiddie coasters that are actually like pretty fun, but I can say with certainty, I think it's the only ride here where I can like definitively say that Spunk Chaser's a pile of shit. It actually has pretty good theming and presentation. Holy crap, the music's loud. It's got pretty good theming and presentation, but that's not the actual ride. The product that was purchased from Zamperla is a pile of shit, but at least it actually runs. Crazy view. Whew, that'll wake you up, that's for sure. Beautiful views up there with the sunset, and I was the side facing the Smoky Mountains, so I got the Smoky Mountains sunset view. I love the adrenaline, the blood pumping, and everything that you get with a drop tower, or at least I get with a drop tower. Most ride types just don't really, I mean, they're fun, obviously, but they just don't really scare me. They don't really get the anticipation building anymore, except for drop towers. They're like the last ride type that you're going up there, and especially on drop line, because that restraint system is so free. They're just those incredibly loose, like over the shoulder lap bars that like are like tiny. It's actually crazy how free you are in the best way possible. Absolutely terrifying, and that's what I love about it. Not many rides that still terrify me like that. Anyways, I think I barely have time to go get like a late sunset, early dusk ride on Lightning Rod before the drone show that's at 9:40. It's 9:15 right now, so I do really want to see the drone show though. I wish they would do it at 10 p.m. at park close. That's what they used to do. That's what a lot of parks still do. but I guess they want to get it all wrapped up before closing time. So I guess I kind of get it, but almost every outdoor ride on the planet, especially every outdoor roller coaster on the planet, gets better when the sun starts going down. Sunset rides, dusk rides, night rides, they just hit different. All right, so this is actually my first time seeing the Dolly Parton Experience area at night as I pass through towards Lightning Rod, and while it's not completely night yet, that looks sick. I think they're just shining lights up on the sequins and it's reflecting like that, but it looks wild. That's really cool. Yeah, I saw the crowds pick up in this area towards like the middle of the day. Yeah, you can see that the lighting is mapped directly onto the butterflies, which is pretty cool, I must admit. Dream Song looks nice as well, although the pole holding the lights looks kind of stupid there. But yeah, like I said, these attractions gained some popularity midday. I saw a decent queue for Songteller, but they definitely seem like more midday attractions when lines are long. You don't really know what you want to do. You just need to break some air conditioning. I think that's what this area will mostly end up being for people. What the heck? Look, I saw that from the top of drop line. New like kind of pseudo chaser light things. That's weird because that breaks the Dollywood tradition. So if you're unaware, you haven't been to Dollywood at night, every single coaster, with the exception of Big Bear Mountain because it's all launches, but every single coaster just has a white strip of white LEDs going up the lift. That's it. Lightning Rod, when it still had the launch, it also had the same strip of white LEDs that went up to basically where the launch stagers ended. So it just went along the launch track and it ended about 3/4 of the way up or wherever the stagers ended. With the chain lift conversion, because I got to see it at night, like opening weekend, they extended that white LED strip to the top of the lift hill and up and over, which made sense because it's like, oh, we go from a launch to a lift hill, yada yada, in line with every other ride here. But now it's different than every other ride here, and this opens a giant can of worms because now we can have lights on the lift hills of coasters here that are not just a strip of white LEDs, apparently. This ride just looks sick at night. It's not completely dark yet, but it's good enough. I'm satisfied. No wait, that's the way I like to see it. Still so weird to me how much this park empties out at night, because this is like the best time to ride most of these attractions, at least in my opinion. And at a lot of other parks, if it was this time, these lines would still be at least decently slammed, because a lot of people like to ride things at night. Oh yeah, that's cool. Right, Lightning Rod is done at dusk, and man, I can't wait to get another full night ride on that. I mean, night rides during fall, Christmas, especially fall, that's what made that my #1 coaster for so long. And it's so good at night because it just feels like you're flying so much faster. And right now, it's been a long time at this point since they've trimmed any of the foliage around the ride. So you are weaving like so tightly in between these trees and bushes that still have all their leaves on them right now. So it's crazy.
In just 10 minutes, Dollywood will present Sweet Summer Nights.
Oh yeah.
Our nightly multi-sensory
I'm on my way over there right now. Unfortunately, that ride was a little rough, but I think it's because there were a total of 4 people on that train. So I think that's probably why. With a fully loaded train, it would probably be a lot smoother. I'm also thinking if it was hauling that much ass near the end with mostly empty train, I can't imagine a fully loaded train. So do I still miss the launch? Yes, of course. Was the ride better with the launch? Objectively, yes. And is there a speed difference? Still yes. Even with the ride hauling now compared to how it was hauling with the launch, I can definitely say by the time you get to the quad down, there is an at least perceptible speed difference. It is perceptibly slower now, but it's still a fantastic ride. It's not a deal breaker at all. And I do still think that putting in a chain lift was the right decision from a business perspective at this point. All right, I got 7 minutes. Do I have time to stop by Thunderhead? I say yes. I'm maybe a little bit late. Also, it starts at 9:40. It's a 15-minute show. So theoretically, that gives us 5 minutes to run into Big Bear Mountain's line. I know, I'm insane, but it's fine. Okay, I'm booking it up there. Unfortunately, I didn't get my ride on Thunderhead because when I was about to board, the ride went down, which is incredibly inconvenient, especially considering Thunderhead is like super reliable. It just never goes down. It's all right, we'll go watch the show now and hopefully get Big Bird Mountain Night Ride when that show ends. I feel like I'm missing out on this Wildwood Grove dance party though. They got a freaking Jolene EDM remix going. Wow. Haha, just in time. Like the drone component's over, they're just finishing up with some fireworks, so time to head towards Big Bear. The crowd density trying to get through here though. This is what's crazy about these late night like firework and drone shows. It's like the park's like empties out, like everyone's just gone. Then the show starts and everyone just rematerializes out of thin freaking air. I don't understand it. Yeah, holy crap, where did all these people come from? So I think, again, that's what I think is so funny about these kind of late night shows. It's just everyone just appears. Like where did all these people even come from? The park was empty 10 minutes ago. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and get in line. I don't care that much about getting the last ride of the night. I used to care a lot more about that. Now I'm just like, oh, if you get a ride, if you get a ride. Alright, line is pretty short too. Nice. What a fantastic night ride, and by the grace of God and Jesus himself, I got on the train with the working audio. The train that doesn't have working audio also does not have working headlights or taillights, so that really it's not great for the nighttime experience, so I'm glad I got that. Oh, this park is so beautiful at night, and it just got dark like 30 minutes ago, and it's already closed. Petition to extend park hours to 11 p.m. during the summer. Dollywood, come on, it's summer. There's still a decent number of people here, actually. There's more people after the drone show than there were before. I think we can make it work. I love how much Mystery Mine embraces its kind of creepy, almost horror-ish theming at night. Just like, yeah, I'm red, blood red. Don't worry about it. I always think it's funny that drop lines lock out for the night. It's just moving it up like 2 feet. Like, ha! You can't climb in there now, fools. Alright, so this is gonna be a miserable wait for the trams. I already get that feeling, you know? I'm still waiting for a Dragonflyer Nano coaster. I know it's never gonna happen, but look at Mystery Mines. It makes the layout look huge. What the heck? It makes it look like it's the same land area as Big Bear. It's ridiculous. Look at how tiny Fire Chasers is. I should just make a change.org petition to make Dragonflyer Nano Coaster. That would be a great use of the world's resources. Thoughts on the drone show? It wasn't bad. I just wasn't blown away. I wasn't super impressed. But that's my own fault. It's because in 2022, summer of 2022, I saw Holiday World's drone show that summer. And that one is like perfection, in my opinion. I think they have absolutely, as in Holiday World, has absolutely perfected, you know, how to use the drones and pull off a really impressive show and do some really cool stuff with them. And I just haven't seen Dollywood do anything to that level yet, which makes me a little disappointed. If I hadn't seen a drone show before, or if I had seen like only Kings Island's, because I've only seen Kings Island's 50th anniversary show, which the drones were a component, but the main focus was on other things, like there's some projection mapping and stuff, and the drone part was kind of crap. I kind of didn't even notice it was there. So, I mean, from that perspective, this was fantastic, but I thought this had a little too much 2D. I think the drones work best with like cool 3D stuff, but that might be a personal preference thing. And it seemed to stay on each scene for too long. There wasn't enough movement. These are all kind of my personal opinions. You might like this style better, and that's fine. But I thought Holiday World's style and the way that they, or whoever they contracted to program the show, it just absolutely mastered, in my opinion, what makes a drone show a drone show. And so now, ever since then, seeing them here is just like okay, it's not bad. But in general, I really like nighttime spectaculars. That was just the usage of the drones I was disappointed in. I just having a show at the end of the night that brings everybody together in one place before the park closes, I think it's just really cool. And I wish every park would have that all the time. Okay, I just got in line and there's another one coming around the corner, so this might not actually be that long at all. My fear was unfounded this time. Alright, I am now home, as you can tell by my posters. If only Dollywood would get me to throw posters. Feels wrong not to have one from my home park up on the wall. But anyhow, I'm gonna take a glorious shower and then probably go straight to bed. Skip my nightly Metroid Prime. I don't know how many of you are Nintendo fans, but I just started playing Metroid Prime Remastered last week, and it's like freaking crack. I have to play it every single night. Just get home from work and boot up Metroid Prime. But yeah, no, I had a really fun day. Got plenty of rides in. Overall, just felt really good about the day, which is good. The last few visits I've had to Dollywood have been, it just hasn't really been the season for me. But this was actually a really good visit. It was really fun. A lot of cool stuff for summer celebration, and still other stuff that I wanted to do that I didn't get around to. But that's always good, especially at your home park. If you end the day feeling like you haven't been able to do everything, even in 12 hours, then that's a really good sign for the park, right? That they're offering a lot for you to do. So if you enjoyed this video and you're new here and you want to see more of my future amusement and theme park adventures, be sure to subscribe. Yeah, I have no idea what happened to the rest of that clip. It just kind of disappeared. But I do hope to catch another ride with you again very soon.